Hello and welcome back to Pink Monarch Prints. My name is Bobby and today I have a hopefully quick little tutorial for you. We are going to be using the newest kit, subscription kit from Pink Monarch Print, Minty, Lush, and we are going to be making a Zine out of it. So I took one of the papers, copied it on both sides, and we're going to use this as the base of our little Zine. And it's kind of a mini one. So what you're going to do is take your paper and fold it lengthwise. Try to line up the corners the best you can. There you go. And then you're going to press it down. Use a bone folder or your fingers, whatever you want to do there. All right, next we're going to take and fold that in half again. Again, try to line your corners up the best you can. Press it down again. All right, and we're going to fold it one more time. Alright, we'll press that down. Alright, so now we have the base. We're going to take a look just real quick at our edges. If you see anything that looks, a little wonky, you may want to trim it up slightly. But don't worry about it too much, unless it's really off. So see, on this side it did get off quite a bit. So let me see if I can just pull this over and kind of correct it a little bit. If not, we will trim that off. So I think I may have to trim a little bit of that off. Otherwise, if you don't want to trim, you can just cover it with ink. Or you can cover it with some thin lace or washi tape, something like that. All right, so once you have that folded, and you folded it lengthwise and folded it in half again twice, next you're going to open it up and you're going to fold it widthwise. And just going to press down your edge again. You are going to take, and on the creased edge, you're going to cut this line right here up to the center point. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, this is Bobby, and I'm from Precious Memory Boxes Junk Journaling, but I'm a guest designer here with Pink Monarch Prints. All right, so we have that folded. So we're going to take this. This is the part I always forget. And let me think what I need to do here. You're going to open it up, turn it this way. There we go. Fold it in half. Okay, where your cut edge is open. And then we're just simply going to push it together. And there you go. There's our little Zine. And now you can fold this over. Now, if you notice, this edge is really off here, so I'm going to try to kind of press that down again. If not, I'll figure it out. All right. Yeah, that one really pressed over, didn't it? All right. I'm going to grab my other one. I folded it, folded a little better. You may want to practice a few times on plain paper. But I'll come back and fix that one. I just don't want to spend the time right now on camera. But here's another one that I completed earlier. And so pushed it together. And there we go. Now, you have two openings on the top and there's two openings on the bottom. So I'm going to use these two openings as pockets. And first we're going to decorate. And then we will come back and decide how we're going to secure our pockets, whether we're going to use glue or something else there. But let's decorate first. So inside, you've got your outside cover, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 places to fill, and your back cover if you want to decorate it. All right, I think I'll leave the back plain, but for the front, I just cut out various different pieces from the kit so that we could use them. And I've got some tags here. I also cut out quite a few of these like journaling cards here because I thought they would make a beautiful topper. So we've got this one, which is the one I really like. And we've got some of these other ones here that we can glue inside to make some writing space if you want to have a little writing space. So let's go. I think we're going to go with this one. They're both pretty though. That one is pretty and this one is pretty. I think we'll go with this one. I'm going to grab my ink here and give it a little ink. I re-inked my vintage photo. I got way too much on it. So it is really juicy now. Okay, may have to, just going to do it around the front here. We may have to trim a little bit of this off. To make it look correct because it's longer. So I'm just going to eye it and trim a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom. You could also round your corners. That will give it a softer edge. There we go. And let's go ahead and glue that down. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. And I hope everyone is staying cool and comfortable in your area. The weather has been extremely hot this year for everyone, I think. All right, there is our cover. And let's see, I've got Love What You Do. Might add a little sentiment here. And then I just cut some smaller little fun pieces. See if I can find something that's more contrasting here. Yeah. Let me get rid of those white edges. We will just glue that down here at the bottom. And we're going to put Love What You Do up here at the top. And these are great just as little mini notebooks to put in a pocket in your journal. I think they're fun, or to put in some happy mail, whatever you want to use them as. All right, let's flip to the next page. I'm thinking about maybe creating a belly band on this one. And that one seems a bit wide. Let's see what this one looks like. I like that one, but I think I still like the orange contrast better. Let's see what the one with the roses looks like. Yeah, I think that's the perfect one right there. Let's just figure out where we need to cut it. Right about there. All right. Let me move these out of the way here. Well, maybe. Get my fingers under them. Let's ink up our edges just to get rid of the white edges. I always want to pre-ink everything, but sometimes if you do that and then you cut it, you just got to come back and ink it again. So, all right, so we're gonna try to put this glue as close to the edge as we can. And you can make this go vertical or horizontal on your page, whichever way you want. Oops. There we go, there's a belly band. We'll let that dry and we'll come back and add something under there. Now, I was also thinking about taking these really pretty cards here and maybe trying to add them to the page for a little space to write. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut off either a top or a bottom part. I think we want to keep the little suitcase. So let's see here. Let's go right between these two lines here. There we go. I think that'll work. Don't be afraid to alter your pieces or to layer them. It just helps add more, depth, and the layers just, I don't know, they just add so much to it, give you such a pretty outcome. All right, let's make sure I'm staying on that page. There we go. Let's add maybe something up here at the top. There we go. You could trim that little strip of white off there if you wanted to, but I always just kind of ink it. Takes care of it quickly and easily. All right. Now this side is open here, and I think I'm going to wait to the end. I think we want to glue that shut, but we'll wait to the end just to make sure. All right, I've got several pockets here. Let's do pockets in the middle. We just have to find which two we like, and we are most likely going to have to trim them. So we want to find ones that can be trimmed easily. I think I still like this one. So let's go with these two. Let's see if I have a pen or pencil we can mark these with. And we'll just take a little bit off of each side. Since we've already got our some notch cut out in these. We want to be careful that we don't cut too much. All right. So I'm just going to try to cut a straight line here. You can grab your trimmer if you like. All right, there we go. And definitely want to ink this a little bit so you can see where the top is in contrast to the back page. So we've got that one. That looks good. Let's figure out where we need to trim this one. So like I said, this is just a fun, simple project. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. It probably takes longer to cut your pieces out than it really does to put it together. There we go. Don't forget to, if you're new to Pink Monarch Prints, don't forget to check out their website at www.pinkmonarchprints.com, and you can sign up for the subscription kits there. There are 2 different subscription kits. There's your premium, which is $8.99 a month, and you get up to 50 pages, sometimes over, just full of pages, journaling pages, ephemera of all types, pockets, tags, labels. You'll see in this kit this month we have some tickets. There's also some like field note slide cards. These, I've got one cut out, but I think it's going to be too big to use, but these types of cards. There's just always lots of fun elements. There we go. All right, we've got our pockets glued down. All right, and then what are we going to do on here? I think on here we'll just add maybe some journaling spots. So I really like this one. I hate to cut that off. So let's this time maybe cut it off the bottom. And let's see, where'd my scissors go? You could also use your printer if you want and maybe shrink these a little bit so that you wouldn't have to cut off the edges. You could always come back and kind of add that on. And we might do that. I don't think it'll be that noticeable. So I'm just going to add this back on to the bottom here. There we go. And you can, you know, add a little piece. We'll take a little piece of ephemera and maybe add over there. Maybe take one of our tickets. I have an idea here, so we'll see if it'll work here in just a moment. So instead of making the little part I cut off the bottom, let's make it the top. And we will take one of our little tickets and add it. Let's see, which one do we want? How about the butterfly? We'll add it at the top, and then you won't be able to even see where we altered that. Just using my hole punch here to make it easier to cut the corners. There we go. And I'm going to ink around to catch the white edges. And then I'm just going to add this at the top. And I'm going to just do the top. So if you want to make that a little tuck spot up there, you can. So I'm going to add that right here at the top. There we go. And now you can take, let's see if I got something small here. I've got, oh, I forgot about these little stamps. So I've got these little stamps. And you can use that as a little tuck spot. Just like that. All right. What do we want to do on the other page here? So we've got a green one, which would be neat. But I'm also liking this orange flower here. So I think we'll use it. And let's see, we're going to cut it just above this line here. And we may do the same thing we did. We may just add this right back at the top. See now, in that one there is a contrast, but I still like it. You can even make that part right there the tuck if you want. But I think I have an idea for another. We'll just do another embellishment across there. This is not necessary. You don't have to do this. I just like the borders. So you can just cut it off like I did on one of the previous pages and just let it be. All right, so let's take, we have some large circles. This can also be a tuck spot. There we go, I like that green one. I'm gonna ink it up. And we're gonna add this, and let's see how we want it to be. Now you can let it stick out the top if you want, or you can bring it down enough to just be attached there. And let me put that there. I forgot to, let's glue this page down first. Let's try to line it up the best we can with our other one here. There we go. And now, whoop, now we will glue this one down. There we go. Doesn't give you quite as much writing room, but you still have some there. All right, in the back, I'm going to leave plain in this. All right, so we need to do a little gluing and a little adding of some ephemera pieces. So we're going to leave this one a pocket here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little glue along the bottom here. Glue that down. All right, it's not necessary to glue in here unless you want to, but you do want to glue your bottom down. This one, we're going to glue it shut unless you want to leave it as a side pocket. But I think I'm just going to glue it all the way down, but you could use it as a side pocket. And then, let's see, this is our other pocket over here. So we're going to glue the bottom down. And of course you can leave it open if you want. You don't have to glue it down, but all right, and then over here we're going to glue this down. My page kind of popped up there, so we'll have to add a little glue back to it. Let's see if I can get this lined up a little better as we glue it down. All right, and let's see where to pop up right there. We'll add some more glue back in there. All right, we'll hold that for just a moment. And then we can add in a little more embellishments to it. So this is definitely a quick and easy little project. Let's find some little items that we can add. And we may want to add a little stamp right there. So let me go ahead and add a stamp in there. There we go. We're going to cut up some of our tickets. Let's cut the corners off. I think I'll use 2 from each color there. The pretty peachy orange and this beautiful green. All right. Let's just add some of them in. We've got some smaller tags that we can also add in. Let me go ahead and cut 2 more of these. let's see, I was telling you about the subscription kit. If you don't want to sign up for a monthly subscription, you can also visit Pink Monarch Prints Etsy shop, and you can get the kits there. Watch for the sales. It's always nice to get something on sale, and it's helps our pocketbooks a little. So Pink Monarch Prints is very good about having sales. So check that out. There's a couple more butterflies there. So that's another way you can get the kit if you would, if you want to just purchase certain kits. Also, don't forget about they have other new papers, and they have a gold kit. I think I told you about the Premier kit, but they also have a gold subscription kit. And it is $14.99 a month, and you get the gold kit within. So don't forget to check that out as well. All right, so here's a couple tags. And we're just going to quickly embellish our tags up. These are from the kit. And then another new fun thing they have at Pink Monarch Prints is they now have a sticker business, and I think it's called Dilly Dally Stickers. You can find it on Instagram. You can also, if you receive the newsletter each month, it tells you more about it in their newsletter, but you can definitely check it out on Instagram. All right, so we're going to slide these in. You could take a moment and just add a little embellishment. We also have these beautiful pieces here. These are pre-made clusters. And let's see, I think I'm going to add it to this one. Just a quick way to embellish your tag. So lots of different things going on at Pink Monarch Prints. I really love their stickers. I have quite a few of them, and they're usually printed on the clear sticker paper. If you want them to have a background, you can always just add some paper, some cardstock to it, and then cut them out that way. But they melt into your pages beautifully, and they're just really a nice accent to have. So we're just going to add this here, and I think I'm going to add a number. Yeah, something about numbers. We have to have numbers. So do we want it up here? Ooh, yeah, I think I like it better up here. So we're going to add that up here. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim off these extra little pieces here. You don't have to. You can leave them on there if you like. But we will add that into our pocket here. There we go. And then this one, I think I'm just going to leave it plain. And we'll add that in. There we go. All right. You could add a little dangle off of those if you want to. Now, for our other two pockets, let's see. I have a ribbon cutter here. We will just take and create a ribbon hole here. And I think I'm just going to use, so that can fit in there just like that. I think I'll turn it around. There we go. And see if I have a little lace here in a minute, and we'll add that into it. So we've got one pocket that way. And then you can also take these journaling cards and just simply make them also into a tag, and I'm looking to see if I have my tag punch, but I don't. So I'm just going to use the other tag here that I have here and create a tag. There we go. And let's see, do we need to add anything? Let's add a sentiment to it. This one says, every moment matters. I really actually like that one. So let's go with that. Get it right to the edge, and if we need to, we can just trim off the excess. There we go. And let's see, what else do we want to add? We've got a bird, but I don't think he's a little big. Let's see, we've got these little tags like this. How about if we just do a little something like that? All right. Whoa. That was trying to roll completely away there. All right, we don't want to cover up our words, so I'll move that over slightly. And we'll add this one. There we go. There's one of our tags. I'm going to do a circle punch with that one. This one, what do we want to add to? I want to really add one of these stamps. So let's do the butterfly here. All right. And maybe, wonder what, let's see. We can make this a belly band tag if we want. No, that's all right. Or we can go across that way. I'm thinking we're just going to do the little butterfly there. And let's see. We'll add a number with it. So we've got a butterfly and a number. And I wonder if we should add one of those. Yeah, I like that. Let me just ink up the edges here. Sometimes I need to get some different punches, circle punches, to help me cut better. It's hard for me to cut a circle without looking a little choppy. So we're going to add that there. That dauber is determined to roll everywhere today. All right, we'll add our butterfly. And then we'll add our number. And there we go. Let me check. I think I forgot to grab my lace to bring in here that we could add to the top. I did forget it, so that's okay. I'll come back later and add it. But what we're going to do is I'm going to add this in the first pocket here. There we go. And then our other one we're going to add in our second pocket, which should be right here. And I'm going to put it in this way since we already have another tag sticking out. I'm not going to decorate the back on this one, but let's take a quick little flip through and see how it came out. So we've got our front page with a tag. Oh, we need to add to our belly band. What can we add in there? Let's add a piece of ephemera in there. and maybe a stamp. Just a couple little things to decorate it up. We've got a little writing space here. We've got a pocket and another pocket. And then we have the two top loading pockets. We have another page that we can write on with a top tuck here that we can add to. And then our back cover. Quick and simple. It is a little chunky because I used my tags and that were cardstock, but not too bad that you can't slide it into a pocket in your journal. You can definitely tie something around it to keep it closed, or make you a type of little closure, but just sliding it down in the pocket will also keep it closed. You could also use a paper clip if you have it. So all right, well, I hope you enjoyed what we made today. I hope you'll give it a try. They're quick and simple. Just cut out your pieces beforehand, and it doesn't take very long to put it together. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll come back again and just have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.